Hello, this is my first review on YouTube, and I've decided to review a game that's very nostalgic from my childhood. WWF Smackdown. Well, it would be WWE now, but back then it was WWF. It's possibly my favourite game of the series even to this day, because I had hours and hours of fun on it. It was for the original PlayStation, you remember? That fat old grey thing that competed with the N64. And in Japan it was called Exciting Pro Wrestling. Yes, this was the first WWE game to be published by THQ. But previously, before that, they were published by Acclaim, like Attitude, Warzone. They were all published by Acclaim. Fans responded very well to this compared to Attitude, mostly because of its simplified gameplay and more fast-paced action. This game was also one of the only wrestling games at the time, to feature backstage areas. The first one was WCW Mayhem, and the second one was this one. And this feature was later abandoned by the idiotic publishers. I don't know why, because it was one of most fans' favourite parts. But they still haven't brought it back. They brought in a backstage brawl, but it doesn't flow into gameplay as well. But I digress anyway. This game has spawned a number of sequels, including what many people regard as the best Smackdown game to this date is Here Comes the Pain. But they spanned across the PlayStation and PlayStation 2, and they also spanned another series called Smackdown vs Raw, which has spanned a number of different consoles, including the PS2, PS3 and Xbox 360, to name a couple. This game holds a lot of nostalgic value to a lot of people who were kids and teens when it came out. But let's see if it still holds up today. One thing that got everyone that I know pumped every time they played this game was this opening video, because it was custom made for the game. It wasn't the opening to Smackdown itself, it was literally just made for the game to make you watch your favourite wrestlers quickly and get you pumped and ready to kick some ass, and it did its job perfectly every single time. I still to this day love it. It's a great opening video. Yeah, let's skip to some gameplay. Here we have a computer versus a computer game. It's Rock versus Stone Cold. Thought it'd be a pretty standard match, and two of the biggest stars at the time. So, but yeah, as you can see, the gameplay is quite smooth and fluid. The graphics for the time are quite good. I mean, going by the Attitude graphics, no one had seen anything like this back in 2000, especially for a wrestling game. And the graphics kind of stunned people, and the gameplay, people were shocked because it's so much more fluid than Attitude. And the buttons are a lot more simple, like it's just left and circle to do a grapple like that. Backdrop, left and circle, probably something like that. And another thing you can do is if you pick them up afterwards and then go to do a grapple, it's a stronger grapple because they're groggy. It's like with the Rock, if you pick them up and then do like left and circle, you do the rock bottom. And here you see the Rock going for his finisher, the people's elbow, taking off his elbow pad, typical Rock taunt, and landing it perfect. There's an option in the pause menu to turn on move names, which for any little budding wrestling fan helps, especially like me, because I wanted to know all the moves and I had no idea what most of them were, and playing Smackdown with the move names on helped a lot. Like that, the rock bottom, I knew what that was, but the fact it's glowing gold shows you that it is a signature move. And here you see the Rock doing a typical Rock fashion, smelling what he's cooking. Winner. The Rock beats Stone Cold. Now I'll show you some actual gameplay with me playing it. I may be a bit rusty because it's the first time in about 2 years I've played this game. I've been playing Smackdown 2011 lately. I like the destruction physics in that, but I'm going to give it a go. So here we go. Right, so what I'm going to do now is a standard exhibition match. I'm going to go for an anywhere fall. One player versus computer, and I'm going to go for the Undertaker versus Kane. I'm going to give us both no finishers to start with, and 2 as the maximum. I know as a kid I used to give me 5, maximum 5, and the computer none to make me better, but that didn't really work. Match length. Yep. I'm going to take this opportunity to show you a backstage area as well if you've never played this game, which like I said before, I highly doubt, but still. Right. I've skipped ahead a little bit so you can just see the gameplay instead of the entrances. As you can see to start with, because I'm a little bit rusty, Kane starts kicking my ass. But towards the end, I get a bit better. One gripe I do have with this game is the fact that the countering system is flawed. You're meant to be able to tap square and a direction to counter, but it's very temperamental. Like, you can hit it dead on when you need to press it and it still won't counter, whereas the computer counters very easily because obviously they don't need to press buttons. Another thing that kind of sucks is using weapons in this game, whereas in the newer ones they fixed that and the hit detection is very good. In this one you go to hit them and you just completely miss. One thing that is good though is that when you do hit them it does do damage, but only minimal, and it barely puts up your stamina meter at all. In the newer ones it puts up your stamina meter quite a bit. I've turned off the move names again now because I don't need to see them because I know all of them now. One other thing that is bad about the game is like the same as before, the hit detection, but when you run at someone and you are off by a pixel, you will just fall face first to the floor because you've missed, which admittedly does suck quite a lot. But apart from that, the gameplay is very fluid. I have a lot less gripes with this game than I do with Attitude. Attitude has so many flaws and it was a fun game before Smackdown came out, but as soon as Smackdown came out it was just obsolete. It sucked compared to Smackdown. This is like a good old-fashioned beat 'em up with wrestling characters. You see me going for a chokeslam now. I'm going to take a chokeslam in Kane. The good thing about this match is it only takes me one tombstone to put him away in, as opposed to their match at WrestleMania 14, where it took 3 tombstones to put Kane away, but this one just takes 1, which is good. So you see me using my finisher, which on SmackDown was just the L1 button, and the darkness pin, which back then you had to do separately, it wasn't part of the move itself. So there you go, I get the 3 count, I get the win, and game over. Right, basically, to sum this game up, I would say that it is a kick-ass game for anyone who loves wrestling. Any wrestling fan, new or old, should play this. Especially, I think kids, especially from nowadays, who love the whole PG era, should go back and play this. I know it doesn't have the graphics, but the gameplay is amazing. So, I recommend this game to anyone who loves fighting games. My final verdict on this review is basically, if you've never played it, which I highly doubt for anyone my age or older, but if you are watching this review and you have not played Smackdown, go out and pick it up, because you can probably pick it up in the bargain bin at a local game shop for like £1 nowadays. So, I mean, on here it says that when I got it, it was £12, which pre-owned. So that was like probably about 6 years ago. Now you can probably get it for like £2, so I recommend you go out and buy this game because it is worth the money, and a lot more than that too. So if you want hours of fun, go and buy it. That is my final verdict.